Lifestyle Strategy Team, how can I help you? All right, it's time for Wednesday's Lifestyle Strategy Team, and so many people waiting for the grand return.
Woohoo!
Olivia Ih joins us, our senior manager.
Yes, hello everyone. Hello SJ. Happy
Olivia.
to be back here in the studio. It didn't change at all.
I was like, oh my goodness, you mean it's never changed all throughout? Like the back changed a little bit.
The back changed a little bit, but the size, everything, nothing changed. The table is still red. I mean, yeah, it's great to be here. 15 years ago already.
15 years
it's been
ago,
15
hey?
years.
Oh my goodness.
I think I'm your 선배 in radio, right?
Yes. You're also my 선배.
Here, right?
Here too.
차장님. Oh, 네.
Oh my goodness.
Feels great.
15 years ago. Oh my
So
goodness.
I started in 2010.
Was ARIRAng Radio your first?
Yes, absolutely.
I started 2009.
Oh.
Elsewhere though.
Well,
so, but
yeah.
if you go elsewhere.
Okay. So here at ARIRAng.
Here at ARIRAng,
I'm
definitely
선배.
선배님.
Okay.
And then also at...
Here, like senior manager. Actually, it's my first title. What an honor. Thank
Is
you
it
so
really?
much. Yeah, this title. I never had this title. Senior manager.
Do you have a title right now?
Well, it's pretty much full-time instructor at the Korean
Okay.
National Diplomatic Academy. So it's more based on teaching diplomats.
Oh my
But,
goodness. We got so many fans. Fans
Hi, everyone.
of Olivia.
Olivia, or maybe my brother. I don't know. Could be both.
The crazy thing was we actually met before
Yes.
during Korea Now. And the whole time I was like, oh my goodness, she looks so much like Adrian.
Someone I know.
And I didn't want to mention it just in case, it
was
not
not.
because he went by Adrian Lee.
Lee, and I go by Adrian Ih,
Right.
which is the right pronunciation in,
Right.
in
So I was like,
French
okay,
and
it can't
Korean.
be. Maybe it's just
Coincidence or-
coincidence. And it turns out, yes, Adrian used to host Catch the Wave.
That's right.
At this time slot.
Yeah.
And you were here at ARIRAng Radio. We got, let's see, we got Faz says, greeting and welcome back, Olivia. Look at that.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
Polina over in London says, hello, my beautiful Olivia. Lots of love. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much.
And
yeah.
still looking the same.
Oh, no.
From 15 years
Come
ago.
on, no.
Oh my goodness. Olivia Superman, she says. Let's see. Welcome back, Claire Nagata says. And Bo Simon remembers
Very
Adrian.
thrilled to be here with you and to be hosting this new corner, Lifestyle Strategy Team. I want to call it LSST, right?
LSST.
Well, we can do that.
LSST, that's exactly what it is right now. Olivia, again, I have to say so much respect.
Oh, no.
What you do. Mother of three.
Yeah, that's...
You work full time. How do you do this? How do you do this? Where does all that energy come from?
SJ, wait until you have a third child and you see that you need that pressure just naturally comes and the energy comes from that pressure.
Olivia.
Okay?
Wait until the third comes. There is going to be no third.
I think your second just turned one, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so in 2 years maybe.
Did you hear about that thing that they ask like the last child?
Yeah.
They go, when you came out from your mother,
Yeah.
did you close the door out or did you leave the door open?
When I left from where?
Like you asked the child, right? When you came out from your mother, right? You go, 엄마한테 나왔었을 때 문 닫고 나왔어? 문 열고 나왔어?
아, 열고 나왔지. I left it open.
That means so you who said that? Your third?
Oh, okay. I left it myself open, thinking that I may have a third one or fourth one. Yeah.
So they asked the last child
Yeah.
that, and if the child goes, "Oh, I left the door open,"
Yeah.
that means you can probably
Eventually
expect-
have a fourth.
Yes.
Well, she left it closed. She told me she doesn't want a younger brother or younger sister. I leave it open, but my husband wants to close it. Basically, yeah, that's the point.
I'm not even gonna ask my second child. I'm not gonna even ask her. She doesn't even understand what it is right now.
Not
What
yet.
she doesn't understand it. But let me just say, 2 is enough.
Yeah, 2 is way enough. Yeah,
3
I agree.
though. How old are
3
they?
is optional. She's 3, so I call them Lulus because they're Louis. Their name is Louis, so it's a boy, and 2 girls, Louis, Luna, Lumi. So the Lulus, and the youngest one is 3 years old. So 8, 7, and 3.
8, 7, and 3. Oh my goodness.
8, 7 was pretty tough because it's like as if you were raising twins, right?
Yeah.
They're very close apart. And the third one came a little bit later. It was during COVID. We were hesitating. I was like, should we have another one or not? We waited a little bit longer. COVID hit. We waited even more longer. So they're like 4 years and 5 years apart. But now I'm so happy that I had that gap in between because you can really feel that you're like she's pretty much the last one,
and
you're
they take
taking
care
time,
of her.
and they
Okay.
know, and so she definitely doesn't want a younger
There's no
brother.
jealousy that goes on?
Not really.
Really?
Not really. Actually, the two older one, they take care of the younger one.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. They're taking care of her right now.
Hold on, time out. The
Thank
8-year-old
you.
and the 7-year-old's taking care of the 3-year-old
pretty
right
much,
now?
Pretty much, yeah.
No,
yeah.
but seriously, where does the energy come from, Olivia?
No, I mean, Korea is a very expensive city to live
Yes.
in, one of the most expensive cities in Asia, right? And you can only, the fact that you have that financial pressure makes you work more and have that energy. But I think the main point is you need to love what you do. I mean, there's no secret to that. You need to enjoy what you do and then you get the energy from that. I really enjoy, what I do.
I think you made a very good point with, yes, it does cost a lot to raise a child.
Yeah.
Luckily, my kids are young enough right
Yeah.
now that they don't cost too much.
Too much yet. Mhm.
Yet.
I'm arriving to a point I'm like, okay, I need to find like 3 other jobs to take care
You know how many
of.
jobs I have? I have like 7 different jobs, Olivia.
Oh my goodness.
That's only with 2 kids.
Okay, tell me, what are they?
Name all of them? Oh my goodness, I do the news in the morning.
Okay.
I do news somewhere else. I do radio here. I'm a scout for the Milwaukee Brewers, baseball scout. I lecture at an academy, MC and Broadcasting
Okay,
Academy.
so no third child for you. No.
I don't even have time for
I don't
myself.
recommend it for you. Yeah.
I like what you said in that when you have like your children are your inspiration.
They
right?
are, yeah.
Yeah, to continue to do that. I mean, it's tough being a parent, but when you look at them, and especially when they sleep,
Yeah.
it is when they sleep when you go, oh.
They're so cute. Yeah.
And I have
and
to.
I think they're very proud now. They come to an age that they know what I do, and sometimes they see me on TV, and they'll probably see me on radio, and I think they're like, oh, mom is really like she's working hard, for us, and she's spending a lot of time during the weekends. And
Like you're a very positive person, right? But what about like other working moms around you? Do they feel the same way?
It depends. I mean, I try to surround myself with people with good energy. I mean, if you want to be happy, you have to hang out with people who are happy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just a very simple message.
It's true.
So most of the people I tend to, socialize with, mingle, and even at work, we do have that very, good vibe and because I'm working in a teaching environment, we have to put things together, curriculums and materials. To work together. So we always try to put in, good vibes and good energy because that's the only way you can, you do the good work,
So I want to ask you, we're going to be talking about with the lifestyle, the LSST. We're going to be talking about all lifestyle, life in Korea and things like that. But today's topic, our very first topic, we chose it specifically because of who you are, a superwoman. What are we going to be talking about today?
Working moms
my
in
goodness.
Korea, based on my personal experience and because I started my career in Korea. I started my career at radio and TV, and then I moved on because I thought that being a freelancer was pretty unstable, as a woman. So I decided to study a little bit more and do teaching on a regular basis on a full-time job. So this is what I do right now, and thanks to that, I was able to have full-time, what do you call that? Parental leave, which I was not able to have when I was a freelancer.
When your husband and you got married and you guys were talking about kids and things like that, did you guys ever talk about whether or not you would be like a stay-at-home mom or you're actually going to be working?
Oh, that was part of the contract.
Wow! I am going to work.
Yeah, I mean, that's a message. I think if you know what you want to do in life, your career and everything, you have to make that clear to your partner. And I made it very clear. I said to my husband, no matter how many kids I have, I really don't want to lose my job.
Yeah.
I want to continue and work. So I'll manage to, either you take care of the child or I take care of the child. And the condition was like, the person who makes more money will take care of the baby. Very, very simple, criteria.
It's just I can't believe again. I mean, even with 2 kids, it's so difficult. But to do this with 3, we got a question in. Again, with Korean working moms, we'll talk about this a bit more. But you're from France. What's it like in France? Like the idea of working moms in France?
Well, in France, it's so common. I mean, we don't think about, having to take care of the children at home as a stay-at-home mom. So usually they take very regular leaves. So they French women have a lot of children. That's part of me. So that's why I got 3, I think.
That's what it is.
My cousin, they all have 4 and 3 children. 4, 3, 4, a lot of children. So we are in an environment where actually it's very kids-friendly. So that's actually very important, when you want to raise children.
And French people are very, very firm on the work-life balance. They're always out there protesting. They're always striking about
so
work.
many riots, yeah, exactly, to try to maintain the work-life balance. But I mean, in France, the women are very, they push very much for the gender equality, the fact that we have to be on the same level, same page. So they fight for that a lot. And then they think that their career is part of their life. I mean, it's having children is something important, but it's not what is going to, take over their professional life. So they really try to balance that in their life in general.
You also lived in Canada?
No, I lived in China.
China?
So, yeah.
How long though?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
I heard in China, women are strong women.
Very strong women. I mean, north and southern part is very, very different. But in China, women, most of the women, my Chinese friends who are working, they're all working moms.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that things have changed a lot. Because even in Korea, it used to be that most moms were stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, now it's changing, of course. And it has to change, because the living cost we're talking about, the cost of rearing children in Korea is absolutely, phenomenal.
We got so many listeners chiming in with questions. We're going to ask all of that to Olivia, but I do also want to ask our listeners where you guys are located, because we have so many listeners in different parts of the world. What's it like? Women working, is that a possible, not women, mothers working, is that a possible thing especially with the inflation? Do you see a lot of that in these days? Do you see more independent mothers out there? Share that with all of our listeners and us as well. Question in from Julio says, does Korea support single parents? In this case, some mothers in any way? Does the support depend on whether one is a single father or mother? There is support for single mothers.
Yes, a lot. For single father, I'm not sure. We don't have that term, I think in Korean,
If it depends, right? I think
일가구 부모, or I know they support a lot, the underage, the 미혼모, but I don't know what kind of support they have for the men.
Yeah, unmarried mothers, there's a lot of support. There's a lot of support for single parents overall. Although I have to say, like you said, I haven't heard much about single fathers. To be honest with you, but I know that there is significant support for single mothers out there. Hope that
I guess they fall into the same criteria when they receive, any stipend or,
So, Olivia, 3 kids, you're working full time. I want to know what a typical day for a working mother is like.
What would you expect? What would you think? Morning, it's war. Evening, it's war. You have to fight 2 times.
Okay. We had actually one of our listeners ask if your husband helps a lot.
Yes. So I was going to talk about that. So in Korea, if you don't have the help of either a family member or your grandparents or a nanny, it's almost, I guess, impossible to work full time. And there's very few opportunity to work part time, because that's the system in Korea. You either work full time or you do not work. There's not the intermediate, way of working. My husband is an actor. I'm very, proud to say he's an actor because usually people say, oh, who is he? Who is he? He's not famous for your information. Well, a little bit. He was in 범죄도시 1, 2, 3. So the total roundup,
a little bit.
No, I mean, yeah, it was part of the main big, commercial movies he was in. But it's actually good and bad at the same time because he has a lot of time for himself and to take care of the kids. So that's very good for me because I can do, more things, more work. But when you do more, you spend less time with your children. So the weekend, it's like almost me taking care of the 3 kids and giving him his own time.
Oh, you
That's
get
how
him
we
his
balance.
own time.
Yes.
Wait, do you get your own time too?
I have my own time in the morning at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7:30. I do yoga to balance that. So that's like a tip I want to give you, you all. You need to have at least 30 minutes every day, whether you're married or not, or have children or not, that's just for you, for your own well-being, You need to have 30 minutes for yourself every day doing something you like, whether it's cooking, reading, I don't know, it could be anything. So
yeah,
it's
I was
very
just going to
important.
say, it's interesting with the way that your husband's schedule is. Like, luckily for me too, right? Because I'm a freelancer. I have it's not like I'm in an office all day or anything like that. So like I'll go early in the mornings, do the news, come back real quick, send my, first kid to daycare while, the second kid is, my wife is in charge of her. And then I do do some laundry here and there, and then I'll go to work and I'll come back and, try to...
Well, you do a lot. You're really active in child rearing.
But then the thing is, it's like you have to.
You have to, yeah, of course.
Right? I mean,
it's part of it. We made children together. Why would the mom only herself have to do everything? Right?
I think the good thing that changed in the Korean society over the years, it used to be that all of the burden was on the mother.
Of course.
And you ask my mom, right, what it was like, and she's like, your dad did nothing.
Yeah.
All he did was enjoy making the baby.
Well, I would say that things are changing, evolving and everything, but we still have those very traditional, rooted expectation about women in Korea. We remain the main caregivers for the young children, toddlers especially, and the men works most of the time. But I mean, it's changing slowly. We're having more support systems, and it's evolving in a good way.
My wife is from Daegu, and my father-in-law, great guy, but he is the youngest of like a huge family, and he was like the baby of the family.
Right.
And he's from Daegu, like a very conservative household. And so he did nothing, right? And so
my father is the youngest of 5.
And so she's so used to like the husband's not doing anything. And then like, I would help out and contribute. And she thought it was an American thing. Oh, like do American... kind of. But we're also seeing a lot of Korean husbands contribute a lot to this, which I think is a good change.
And more stay-at-home dads too. I mean...
Faz, who I believe, chiming in from Malaysia, I believe, here working mothers are fairly common, depends on the financial and childcare capabilities of the fathers too, for the most part, and also the desire of the mothers themselves.
Yeah.
Bahar over in Iran says it wasn't common at all in my mother's generation 20 years ago, but it has become more common in the past 5 years or so.
Right.
However, it's usually the grandmothers helping with the kids.
Oh, same in Korea still, if you don't have that help, I mean, it's almost impossible because the money you earn basically has to go to a nanny. So with me and my husband, we just decided, okay, he does most of the, the daily stuff with the kids after they come home.
Right.
And then I come and there's what we call baton touch. So, I take up over the responsibility.
I can't believe you do all this without like help from your in-laws.
I think that was part
that.
Also of the contract. I like to mention that.
How many are...
So there, so I said there's one thing I would like to avoid is having my children raised by someone else who is not from the family or someone we would have to pay and to get help. That was one thing. So in a way, I'm happy that he's doing his things as a freelancer.
Yeah.
His career could take off, but, then I would be able to rest a little bit maybe. But that was part of it too, So I'm glad that now they're too old. I mean, they're 7 and 8, not too old, but now having someone helping us doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
If we had, it would have been, in the early years of,
Right.
when they were very, very little babies.
Because where I live, it's like a very family-oriented area in Anyang, and I see all the time where like that Pyeongchon area, it's like with all the hagwons, right?
Yeah.
There's always like the grandmother picking up their child, or like at the park, there's always like the grandmothers who are just chatting
Right.
together while they're watching their grandchildren run around the park, and you see all that. And if you ask them, they have they're working parents, and so the only way to get this done is through the grandparents who help out and things like this. But I want to ask you this though. When it comes to nowadays, we live in a very information-oriented society where we get like all these information.
Influx of information.
Did you go through that too, where you're like, try to get information as much as you can?
Not at all.
No.
Actually, I just did it with the guts feeling. Even when I was, raising the children, I didn't know how to breastfeed. I didn't watch videos, and I did watch one video because I didn't know how to wash the baby.
Did you go to
I
postnatal?
didn't go to Choli. No,
Oh
I
my
didn't go to
goodness.
to postnatal because I thought that would be a way to. I wouldn't be ready enough to raise my kids properly right after I would leave the postnatal. The what do you say the
All
the
three
facility.
children, you didn't go to
I
postnatal?
went for my last one because I knew it would probably be the last, and I really wanted to try the facility
Okay.
because I heard it was just like it was really awesome. It's like heaven. I mean, honestly, I recommend it to everyone.
So much respect.
But it's so expensive
It
too,
is.
honestly. So, I mean, I'm glad that I didn't do it for my first and second, but the third now, I mean, the only reason I would have the fourth is because I would want to go back to the postnatal center.
Number
It's
4, here we
good.
come.
For 2 weeks, you're just like taken care of. They bring you the great food, everything. Your baby's taken care of it. Everything is just fantastic. But then you get a big bang in the head where you're out of it because you didn't do anything for 2 weeks, and you're like, the baby is not sleeping at night. You get those dark circles up to here.
So you just went in there blind with the first two,
just really
first count.
completely blind. With my husband, I remember watching this YouTube video just to wash the baby, which is really literally didn't know how to handle, how to hold the baby.
It's so scary.
Yeah, when they're like 50 centimeters long and they're so light and you don't know how you have to do it. And the moment we did it, everything went the other way around. So it didn't work at all. As the baby started crying, I was like, okay, quick, let's just stop. And then that's it. But, as a mother, you kind of feel it. You know what the baby needs, what they want, if they're sleepy, if they're hungry. You just, it's natural. I mean, in some countries, they don't have access to all these information, how they do it. It's just the maternal, feeling.
No, I mean, that's like what my mom is always saying. It's like, you think like I had the internet to tell me
of
what to do?
course,
And I was like, Mom, that's the reason why they celebrated Peggy like 100 days back then. Babies didn't really, survive sometimes. Like this, I mean, there's a lot of information, a lot of good stuff happening right now. But I have to say, like, considering again, the modern, you not going through postnatal, all that's respect.
Yeah. I mean, in France, what they give you after you have your baby is just a cup of coffee and a slice of bread, So, I mean, I was like, I can serve. I mean, all my friends went through that. Why could I not I don't have to eat miyeokguk, the seaweed soup every day just to recover and get my blood, cleaned.
I want to say your husband's a very lucky guy.
Is he? Oh, go. He should hear that. Just can you repeat that?
If you're listening, you're a lucky guy. You're a lucky guy. You have to understand. Luckily, though, my wife went through both the postnatal stuff. Understandable. But at the time the first child, we lived in Seoul.
Yeah.
So there was not a lot of support.
Yeah.
Right? Seoul doesn't have all of that.
Yeah.
Second kid, Anyang has like one of the
Great
best support.
facilities,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. They gave us 3 million won for the second child.
Wow.
I mean, that goes to the, the postnatal stuff. And so like everything works out with this. But oh my goodness. But what about like once your kids are old, their first two are old enough now, they're going to school and stuff like that. Don't mothers usually like exchange information and then like...
They do. So what I do is I usually exchange information with other working moms because, you know, the other ones, you know, are not the one who are like, I can really relate to. So we do share a lot of information through, you know, like chats. And we have this, you know, what we call 공동 육아. So it's like a common group of mother where we help each other. So for example, having sleepovers, you know, if I want to go to the movie theater with my husband one evening, I leave the younger one to my parents and they go sleep to my friend's house. And then like, this is how I manage and we try to manage. Because if you don't have that support system, it's super hard to have your own time, to be relaxed, to you know, evacuate your stress. It's very hard. Yeah.
Man, you have good neighbors or friends.
You know what? You have to build up that community for yourself.
How do you do that then?
Well, I just, you know, talk to them. We become friends. You know, it could be school friends, and then we're like, oh, why don't you send your kids or, you know, your kid to our house? They can have a sleepover. I'll take the kids tomorrow back to school. And then once you do it once, then you exchange and then you get closer and you're like, and we even went like holidays in Vietnam with like 2 other families. They have 4 and 3 children. We were like 12 children, you know, in Vietnam. So you just, you know, you kind of develop some new skills of how you have to raise your children. And I mean, that's the best way. Parents can talk, they can drink, they can have their own time, and kids are on, you know, they're having fun too.
No, I do that. I do a lot of that. A lot of the drinking with the parents. That I do a lot of. But like to send their kids off on, like again, my kids are a little bit on the younger side right now, and so maybe that's soon enough that would happen. Here's a question about motherhood and parenthood as a whole. Do you sleep with the child, or do you have them sleep by themselves? And from what age?
1 month. Basically, actually, no, younger than 1 month. So my first child, he had his own room, and I was going into the room for breastfeeding. So every 2 or 3 hours. So that's the hard part. But you have to stay strong mentally and physically to maintain the fact that the baby has to have his own room. And the baby senses it, you know, but slowly. My first child, I think he was sleeping almost full time, like straight 9 hours at 3 months.
Yeah, once it hits like the Peggy 100 days,
then there's that
miracle Peggy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
It doesn't happen for everyone, right? Because sometimes they go up to age 7 and you still have your baby in your bed, right? But I heard many of my friends, my Korean friends, are doing co-sleeping. They're sleeping with the baby. I cannot do that because I have to work the next day. I can't. For me, it's too much stress.
I also think for the child, it's also not good because luckily both our children, they're very independent. And so as soon as they were 100 days, they were put in their own rooms.
All right, okay.
And they slept well alone. And so they never looked for, you know, mommy and daddy and things like that.
You know.
But then that translates to because my second child who just turned 1, she's already going to daycare. She doesn't. She stays there until 4 p.m.
Wow.
She doesn't cry if she's mom's not there.
Okay.
It was like that with her. So I think because we got them used to like sleeping by
very
themselves.
Early, yeah.
Yeah, and so but other children, I mean, they're crying and they don't want to be left without their parent and things like that.
But I have to say one thing. The third one is quite different. So the first one and the second one, they had their own room. They were sleeping, you know, separately. The third one, she just naturally walks in the middle of the night and just sneaks in our bed. I mean, I don't know. I raised him exactly the same way. I don't know how she's like that. I mean, there's
also
getting loose. Yeah.
There's also the science behind if you sleep separately without your children. Yeah. There's also the possibility of another child forming too.
Oh, yeah. True. It makes sense. It does make sense, yeah.
So in order to, again, increase the childbirth rate here in the country, which, by the way, is very, very low right now, maybe having them
maybe it's because they don't sleep together.
That's probably...
The mom sleeps with the baby and the dad
that's
is like in
exactly.
the other
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Come on, guys. Bring the baby, you know,
be more
put
dependent.
the baby in the room and be together.
John says as she's about to start building bonds with other partners. Other partners?
Yes. Oh.
What? Parents or partners? That better be parents and not partners. What are you trying to make of me right now? I want to, before we start wrapping things up here, a couple of questions. What is the hardest thing about being a working mother?
I think it's when children are sick.
Because one gets sick, everyone gets sick.
I mean, being a working mother is a hard task, but being a mother just itself is a hard task, not whether you're working or not, it's hard anyways. But I think it's when the baby's sick, you just can't do anything. It's just like you're worried because the baby's sick and you have to take him, to the hospital and you get sick yourself. It's just what do you say, like a vicious circle. If one gets sick, if the five of us get sick, it's always like that. But I think the best is just your partner, the support you have from your partners.
Yeah.
So I read something, it was quite interesting. It was like the hardship is not having another child, but is having a non-supportive husband.
Yeah.
I think it just sounds, right. If you have the right person next to you, whether it's your husband or someone else, actually, you are able to manage and have your own, some of your own time, 30 minutes a day, for yourself to kind of relieve the stress.
That's really important. And again, I mean, I like the fact that you also give your husband his own time. And
yeah,
for you,
it's very important, in the couple, if you want to maintain that stability, that mental health and physical health, you need to have your separate own time. You have to have time together, time with family. It's just all about, managing your schedule. And when the baby's sick, you have to cancel all your schedules.
Yeah. And
usually.
also, I mean, another thing that you have to look into is, I mean, when you're so focused on your children, you don't think about the relationship with your husband or your wife and things like you forget. And so in order to maintain that, you have to balance all of this out. Olivia, again, there are so many people who follow your social media page for a number of reasons, but also trying to get sort of an inspiration of what it's like being a mother, a working mother. If you can maybe give a message out to mothers or potential mothers out there who also want to be successful working mothers, like what message would you give to them?
I think it would be about maintaining a little bit of work. If you cannot do it full time, is this continuously not have a rupture between like, oh, okay, now I have my child and I need to take care of my child, Just trying to work a little bit, if you can do some, I don't know, whether it's translation, whether it's a freelance work, whether it's working in a coffee shop, or like just try to find the thing you really want to do and do it as you reduce the intensity to 50%.
And how important is having a role model?
Yeah. It's absolutely, what do you say, detrimental. It's super important. So the reason why I always show my social media, some photos and time with family and everything and work is because I want to show to others that it's possible. You can do it. Yeah. And, we need to have role models. I have so many role models, in the workforce too, who show you that it's possible to raise children, to work, to have a happy family life, a happy professional life. It is possible. So we need to, as a woman, to hold hands together and to continue and show that it's possible, to show the other young generation that, we can do it.
I think that's a beautiful message, and especially, again, we are going through a bit of a population crisis right now. I think it is the exact message we needed, and I think it should be the face of there's the population and child rate
stimulation, encouraging
or something
people
like that.
to have children. Yes,
Olivia, it was fun episode. I can certainly look forward to more of these action-packed, fun-filled segment. I'm sure a lot of our listeners, we got a lot of messages saying that they enjoyed the big comeback.
Time flies.
Really looking forward to it, Olivia. We're going to round things out with a song request from our listeners. A listener, Lorelai, who requested 조정석 with Champagne. Olivia, we'll see you again next week.